Hey, welcome to episode 8 of the Rice and Beans podcast. I'm your host, Eli, with
Jason.
and
Maddie. And today we had some interesting topic discussions. We talked about going to the movies alone. What's the best way to die?
Yep.
Talent shows that we were all a part of as children.
oh,
Making
terrible.
your own reality TV shows. Jason's pro family wrestling.
That would be an excellent reality TV show. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Pet peeves and how we annoy others and much more.
All right, so stay tuned.
Enjoy.
For real. You know what I hate when I'm in the high school and somebody doesn't tell me that my fly is down?
That's so
And I'm walking, because I have to walk to school the whole day. And I don't know if the kids don't notice.
I think that's just being a bad neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't there a time when if you have a booger on your mustache that you would just be like, friend, you have a booger on your mustache? And you'd be like, thank you. You care. But nowadays, you just be walking around with just like, you know.
A booger on your mustache.
And
Sorry, I
Maddie,
can't
do
relate.
you ever get a booger on your mustache?
I get food on my face a lot of the time,
ask you a question. You get food on the face.
but I'll shave it for later.
you know.
Oh!
Oh,
That was the wrong button. Yeah.
Still golden.
thank you.
It reminds me of Beetlejuice when he's like, saving that for later. And he spits in his pocket. Do you remember that in Beetlejuice?
No.
Okay, so I used to say that line all the time.
And
Okay,
did
and
you
I'd
get
have
laughs?
the same effect.
Did
But
you get laughs from it?
just my best friend, because we
Okay.
love the movie Beetlejuice. We
That's
saw it
great.
like 10 times in the theater.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Thanks. We had a
Well-
great time. Also, Roger Rabbit. We saw
So-
that a lot.
Well, good question. Like, what movie did you watch the most inside, like, a movie theater? Because, like, think of it. You have to get dressed, you have to go up, you have to go out, and then you have to pay money to see it. So, like, what movie do you actually do all that for? You know,
Hands
multiple
down,
times.
Roger Rabbit.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Roger Rabbit. I saw it multiple times with multiple
Wow.
people, and I was a kid. I don't think I paid for it once. I don't even think I dressed up. I was wearing what I'd been wearing all day from school, you know?
Mhm.
Like grass stains on the knees, you know? Been chewing on this part of the front of your shirt. You ever chew on the front of your shirt? Y'all never did this? And it looked like it was all soggy and wrinkly right here. My mom hated that. And she's like, what'd you do? I was like, I spilled milk. She's like, you're allergic to milk. You don't drink milk. I was like, sorry, I was chewing on it. I like my shirt. Yeah. Whatever. That's how I went to the theater
All
to
right.
see Roger Rabbit. Like, I don't even know how many times. It was like every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
At 163rd Street Mall in North Miami. And they don't even have a theater there no more. I think it's like a Home Depot now.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's something meaningful about, like, taking the time to actually go to a movie theater. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's like I watched Doctor Strange, the first one, maybe like 4 times, and it's
That's
not.
strange.
It's not even because I liked it that much. I mean, I liked it okay, but it was just like I went the first time, and then the other times I invited people to come who never showed up. So I just like, well, I'm going, and then I just sat there by myself watching
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that happened. It
I've
was- it
never
was
done
alright.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you're not the only friend that I have that has gone to the movies by himself. My buddy Jeffro goes to the movies regularly by himself.
All right.
And Celeste has a friend or an ex-friend, kind of. I think they're in the transition of being friends again. I'm not sure. But she used to go to the theater by herself to watch movies, and it was like scary movies. She
Okay.
liked to go to the theater by herself. And I thought that was kind of dirty. Honestly, it's like going to an X-rated movie theater to watch that, but she was going to watch scary movies. I don't know why I thought it was dirty. It was like,
I mean,
she's.
it seems a little dark because it's like you go with people, right? To I'm guessing like to be close to them, be like, oh, it's scary. Let me hold you, and then she's just by herself, like, yeah, kill him, right? Like that's
it's a
just the
little bit
impression
messed
you
up.
get,
It's a little bit messed up. It's like, yeah, okay.
dude. I went.
Going to the movies by yourself is very socially acceptable these days.
Is it?
I think so. I see it all the time.
I think
Yeah.
we're evolving as a culture, and
I think it's better than going to a restaurant by yourself.
Oh,
I-
really?
I
I,
think-
love going to the
I
restaurant by
think
myself.
You're just
I don't-
brave if you
I
do.
don't know where to look. Because like normally you're with someone, you're talking to them.
Oh.
But when I'm just eating alone, I'm like, I mean, it's kind of fun to people watch, but I just
Yeah.
don't know what to do with myself.
I eat.
Well, yeah, but like
I eat everything.
I don't know. I think that's
Well,
weird. I'd rather go to a movie by myself than a restaurant.
Like, I understand. I think there needs to be like some kind of window seating, right? Like at Pizza Boys, they have like a little area where you literally sit and just stare out the window, right?
Okay,
and
yeah,
people
yeah.
eat by themselves there all the time, and that seems
like
normal.
a cafe.
Yeah, like a cafe. But it's like if it's like a dinner for
yeah.
two place, and then there's no one there, you're just like looking around,
Or
right?
they'll-
Eating
or
your
they'll be
steak.
Like, are you expecting anyone else?
Like,
No.
No.
And I'm like,
Oh, you
I'm
mean
sorry.
like a 5-star
I'm sorry,
restaurant?
I reminded
Or
you.
not 5-star, just a restaurant.
Just like
you
a
know?
regular
Like
sit
Taco Bell?
down.
No,
No,
a little
that-
bit nicer.
Something
Okay.
like I don't know, like a Mexican restaurant
Frozos?
here, something nicer.
Maybe
a little higher
Frozo's
end.
esque.
And when you're
In
like
that
sitting in a
tier.
booth by yourself, like
Yeah.
it's just kind of I don't know.
I'm coming out the booth. That's Adam Sandler. Yeah, I don't mind.
All right.
I
Do you
usually
pretty much
will
do
have my
anything by
phone.
yourself? What
Um,
is something that you wouldn't do by yourself?
something I wouldn't do by myself? That's a great question.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things.
There's
but
a lot
I'm
of
a girl,
things.
so I'm different.
Dude, I do so much stuff by myself.
Yeah,
You guys
I
are
really
very
can't think of
independent.
anything because I really don't have any other option, right?
Yeah.
It's
I
usually
do
just
ju-
me.
This is crazy. I do jujitsu by myself.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
How?
I sit there and drill just moves like
Oh,
body mechanic moves,
okay.
and I also have a dummy. So
All right.
yeah. What else? I lift weights by myself. I
Well-
do my cardio by myself.
So, like,
I hate running with people.
Really?
'Cause
yeah.
they're always at a different tempo than I am. We're
Yeah.
either one or the other is either going faster
Yeah.
or slower.
There's that, and then there's also like if you're really close to each other, then it's like you're both heavy breathing. You're breathing in each other's breath, and I feel that's so
Huh?
weird.
Don't you have headphones in?
I mean, no headphones, yeah, but it's like I'm running and I'm tired, so I'm just like, and then they're doing the same thing, and I'm breathing in their breath.
Yeah.
If they're like right next to you, that is, you
Yeah.
need at least like a little bit of distance, you know.
Yeah.
Isaac's pace is insane.
Oh, jeez.
No one can keep up.
I'm
with
not
that.
even gonna-
Well,
Oh,
Trinity
man.
keeps up with him very well. I don't know if you know Trinity,
Yeah.
Impressive.
but they can run. They just take off running, and I'm like at a slow trot. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, see, I'm at the mentality that I could go anywhere as long as I keep the same pace,
Yeah.
right? So that pace isn't fast.
Yeah.
It's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eli and I were talking earlier about hiking, and he's like, "Yeah, if I'm hiking with people that are faster than me, I don't enjoy it because I'm just killing myself."
Do you
Yeah.
enjoy
But
it with
when he
me and
goes-
Isaac?
Okay, I did, but you guys weren't even going that fast. I'm thinking of like, you know,
Okay.
Skyline or something, and Isaac's like,
yeah.
oh, I can't wait to just blitz it. And
He
I'm
does.
Like, and I'm like, nah, I'm just going to take
Isaac
my time.
blasts it to the top.
I
he
bet
goes
it's
Yeah.
full-
nothing for him.
Yeah, he runs all the way to the top.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I don't.
Yeah.
No.
I walk, I sit.
Yep.
You just
I
look at
get
the
up.
scene.
Yeah, I
you
look at
know,
the scenery.
breathe in the
If
fresh
you're going
air.
too fast,
Yeah.
it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point?
Yeah. And the point is to get to the top for him
Yeah.
in the quickest amount of time. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
And he also runs down full
Oh, that's
speed.
wild.
Yeah. And it's really wild to watch because it's like he's doing parkour. He covers like 30 feet at a time. Like he jumps like he's like skipping. He
Man.
goes boom, 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 and he jumps from rock to rock. And when there's like cutbacks, like you know where it switchbacks
Yeah.
down, he'll like go off of them sometimes. And I'm just like, he's
Jeez.
gonna die, and he doesn't somehow. I
Wow.
think gymnastics comes in handy for him.
There's that. He still has his knees. Like if I go even a little
That's
fast, my
true.
knees are like, stop. I'm just like, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I sit
Yeah.
down and I just like scrape my butt
Oh,
against
dude.
the
I
gravel.
go quick feet. I go like
Oh yeah.
I'm running, like I'm doing ladder drills.
Yeah.
I go like that all the way down, and when I'm turning the corners, I do like a little cha-cha kind of salsa maneuver with my arms, and I go cha-cha-cha-cha around the corner.
Oh, I love that. Well, I
Yeah.
definitely have to go hiking with you guys sometime. I just
Yeah.
scoot down on my butts because I'm like, if I'm gonna fall, I'm already down, so now I
That's true.
can't fall.
It's good strategy.
Have you been snowboarding?
No.
You probably do the same thing there, coming down, butt scooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of you will.
On the snowboard.
On the snow, you'll be sitting down like this
Yeah.
as you're sliding and shaving the whole mountain all the way down with the side with
Yep.
your board sideways.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
isn't
what
the
I would
point to
do.
just like go down with the board, like underneath your feet?
Yeah, yeah. But if you don't have carving down yet,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you're learning is to like turn
Oh.
sideways and just kind of ride down and then turn back the other way. And ride down.
Gotcha.
But it's so intense, like on your legs at first,
Uh-huh.
that you just end up sitting and just kind of like plowing the mountain.
Wow.
Huh,
Yeah.
that actually sounds fun. I would totally do that.
Yeah. And I didn't learn that when I first went snowboarding. 'Cause my buddy that took me, Bo Hodges, he took me all the way. He's like, he was a pro snowboarder. I'll just lay that out right now. And he was the lead singer in my band. And he goes, we're going to Alyeska. I was like, all right, man, cool. So we go, and he's like, do you want to pay for some lessons, or you want me to give you some quick tips on chair 3? It's like a third of the way, not even a quarter of the way up the mountain. And the beginners are there. They're all learning their classes. There's like little groups with with a coach and all that. And I'm like, and I go, dude, if you could do it, I know I could do it.
Ah.
I was like, let's go to the top.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
as we're going up, we're like going through clouds, coming
Oh,
up
jeez.
onto the top. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes.
Oh, my
We get
goodness.
down, and oh, man, the whole time he just kept bringing back my hat and my goggles because I kept just boom, 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 tumbling, plowing, and just I had so much snow up inside of my coat.
Oh.
Like all the way up. I fell so much all the way down.
Oh, man.
And then I did it again the second time, and the third time I went, I was snowboarding, like
Dude.
all the way up to the top. It took me 3 runs to.
No,
But
that's-
also, I have 18 years of skateboarding experience by that time. I was
Oh,
22
okay.
years old,
All right.
so it was like I
That's-
started skateboarding at like 3.
Well, yeah, like I never actually been to snowboarding, but I've played Avalanche 360. You know what I mean? And it's pretty fun. And pretty much you just like skipped level 1, which is like the training area, and you just
Yeah.
went to like the final one where you're racing an avalanche
Yeah,
down
yeah,
down
yeah.
a mountain. You know?
That'd have been terrifying.
That's my biggest fear is an avalanche.
Well, yeah, that won't happen there. They like blast it.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking like hiking in the winter avalanche.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's why I don't hike in the winter.
it'd be a peaceful death.
Would it though?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be
You'd freeze
smashed.
to death.
Yeah, you go to sleep. Freezing to death has got to be the best way to die.
I don't think so.
No.
What?
No,
I
You
would-
don't shiver.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
You fall asleep.
So like I think the best death is a glorious death, all right? So like whatever you find glorious, dying in that way seems to be the best death for
Okay,
me.
so it's just subjective to glorious.
Pretty much.
All right.
So if there's like a chess player who
Yeah.
just loves chess, him dying during the best chess match ever against like what's his name? You know, the master chess
yeah,
player.
Yeah.
Right. Magnus?
Yeah, Magnus.
Right? He finally beats Magnus, then his heart stops and he dies in the chair. That's a glorious death for him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And like whatever's glorious to you, regardless of how gruesome it is, like that's really the only way to die is like
Yeah.
finishing your purpose and then you're done.
I guess it's being a martyr. That'd probably be the best death.
Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always the whole dying in your sleep thing, you know.
Freezing to death.
That is not what happens.
That is exactly what happens. You go to sleep, especially if you're drunk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
I feel like
happens
it
a
would be
lot
slow
here.
though. It would be such a slow death, I feel like. Or would
Well,
it be quick?
From
So
what
I
I hear,
think-
they just go to sleep.
I think so. It's like probably at first, like you're warm, and then you start getting cold, and that's uncomfortable. But after you get numb to it, then you don't feel it. And then supposedly, once you get hyperthermia, I think you feel hot, but you're not actually hot. You're
Yeah.
actually almost dead. And then
Yeah.
you just pass out, and then you're dead. I think that's how it
Well,
happens.
there's that where the people strip off all their clothes and go running, and
Yeah.
then they drop over dead.
Uh-huh.
But there's also where all your blood stops pumping to your extremities and just stays in your core, and then you just kind of just go to sleep.
Huh.
Wow. Okay, well, I'll pass on that one.
I still don't want that one. What about burning or drowning?
Burning's got to be the worst.
Burning definitely has to be the worst.
You can feel it all.
Drowning's doable, especially if you're a calm person. So like I was once drowning before, and I was completely calm, and it was actually kind of peaceful.
I don't want to drown.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it either.
Yeah, I would panic.
Like when you see
Yeah.
those movies, the scenes in movies where they're
Yeah.
like trapped underwater, like,
Yeah.
Like
I can't. I stop breathing. with
honestly, I stopped breathing.
And then they die. You're still holding your breath. You're like, you got at least 2 more minutes.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still holding my breath.
That's why I hold my breath in those scenes. I'm like, duh. Or it's like they held their breath for 30 minutes. I'm like, come on, man. You know? But honestly, I would be at peace unless there's like, I see another, like a sea animal. If there's like a shark or some figure out in the distance,
Yeah.
I'll just freak out and
Definitely
die right there.
being eaten by an animal's got to be
Oh.
the worst.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
a
Alive.
fish.
Oh
Alive.
yeah.
Especially a fish.
Those are they're all terrifying.
Eaten by a fish. Oh, like a shark.
Any fish, but yeah, shark too.
Oh,
Piranha.
a
Piranha.
piranha.
Oh, barracudas.
A
Oh,
piranha.
anglerfish.
Yeah.
They're all terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all the worst.
There's some terrifying fish out
Oh, the things in the sea are
there. Or
abominations.
even rivers. Have you seen the
to
show River
man.
Monster?
Yeah, I'm trying not to watch it. It's terrifying.
Yeah, those are real things.
That's a legitimate fear, or just like these monstrosities underneath the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
why?
They're not pretty.
Why were they even created? I mean, like, I feel like the Lord made everything, right? And then afterwards, like, you know how the devil's a counterfeit? He, like, tried making his own stuff, and then they're all underneath the sea. And that's what it is. Those weird things of,
Wow.
like, 5 arms and 3 eyes and 12 legs, and it's just, like, antennas. And they have, like, lips for some reason. And it's just, like, walking around in the bottom of the ocean. And you're just like, why do you exist? You're just an abomination to humanity.
What if it's got a great personality?
Oh,
if
it's
it's a
the
one
2 with the 10
with the 10
personality. I'll introduce you, all right? Like, I got a friend who just loves your kind, you know?
Yeah. I'm looking for something with 2 legs, really nice legs, but has a really humongous crab claw. For an arm. Just one big crab claw. Yeah.
Gosh.
All right.
And a dorsal fin. I don't know.
And a dorsal.
All right.
fin.
What are our topics for today?
I actually kind of wanted to go back to you chewing on your shirt as a kid.
Oh,
I'm curious if we could talk about like weird habits that we had as children.
Oh,
Would
Chewing
that be
on my
fun?
shirt.
yeah.
Is that cool?
Oh, 100%.
Because I want to know what
I
that's
got 'em.
about. Okay, you
Did
got
you
'em?
look up chewing on the
No,
shirt?
she's got a fish
No,
pulled
I
up
was
with like
looking up the
fangs.
river
Like, look
monsters.
at that. That thing lives in the water, and you want to like go. People want to go
Yeah.
swimming. And
That's
it's
World's
fresh- that's
ugliest
freshwater.
and most deadliest.
no,
Yeah, that's a freshwater fish.
no. If I'm
There's
swishing,
nothing fresh about that fish.
no, it's something
I bet you they're
Evil.
delicious.
maybe.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
always like that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
unicorn blood.
Unicorn blood. Okay, so Jason, elaborate on chewing on your shirt. Was that like a nervous habit, or
I
did
don't
that
even
comfort
know.
you?
I think I just needed to chew on something. I also chewed on my hand. I still do.
Oh,
Really? Your
Yeah,
nails or like
this-
your
no.
actual skin? Oh,
That tendon, I chew on it. I don't know what that's all about,
huh.
but it brings me calmness,
Peace. Okay.
serenity.
cool.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Eli?
So I have some of the normal ones like biting your nails and whatnot. You know, as a little kid, and mostly because I like to chew on them. So it was like always had a snack or where I was at.
Ooh. Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
Did you swallow the nails?
I stopped doing that,
Oh.
but as a kid, I swallowed a couple.
That's a yes.
You know what I mean? I did swallow a couple as a kid, and then it would get lodged in my throat, and then I'm just like, okay, maybe I shouldn't swallow these.
Yeah,
All right.
Oh,
you're eating yourself.
Yep.
basically. You're
The dead-
recycling your
Well,
cells.
Dead pieces of
So
yourself.
I did, but like, have you ever chewed like the inside of your mouth before?
When I bite myself, yeah, like
On accident.
like I get hit in the face.
Well, I do it on purpose. You know, as like,
Wow.
Your cheek?
so like, yeah. So it's like the inside of your cheek. Like sometimes there's like pieces of it that aren't like solid. You know what I mean? And you just chew on it.
I don't. I you know what
Can't relate.
but I do bite like my lip, the inside of my lip, when I'm trying to stay awake. When somebody's like giving a speech. So we do these talk circles with the tribe, and this one lady was talking about her ancestry, right, and her true DNA, and it was an awesome story, right, about how her family has her bloodline and her DNA has Russia in it because there's villages along the coast there that traveled across the land bridge, right?
Yeah.
But she talked for like an hour and a half. And in the talk circle, you're not allowed to talk until that person's done talking.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. And I was chewing on the inside of my lip to bring pain to kick my adrenaline in so I would stay awake. Because I was supposed to be modeling positive behavior, but I was doing like weird tactics to stay awake.
I like so much respect to that, right? So it's like in the 5th grade, we had a Thanksgiving dinner. We invited all of our family friends, and then we have there's a man named Nelson, right, and his family, and they were Puerto Rican, and Nelson's a good guy. I've never heard any man talk as long as him, including you, right? No one. And he did not stop talking. Like, he was just supposed to say a prayer so we could eat, and he went there and gave his life story for like maybe 3 or 4 hours, and like my sister had this camera at the time, like a big fat one, right?
With the VHS tag?
Yeah, right? And then she was recording it like a good family fun event. That thing just kept on going, right? We were watching the tape, and I'm just like, this isn't stopping. And he went through like childhood to like growing up an adult.
Moly.
And it's like, if Nelson was there at that meeting, you all would have just like passed out. You would have just died. That would be an unpeaceful death.
It makes me think of Paul when he's preaching.
And the kid falls out the window because he went so long, and he dies.
Yeah. He fell asleep, fell out of a window, and Paul raises him from the dead.
Paul is Nelson, confirmed. All right.
Yeah.
If I was next to a window, I'd be dead too.
Yeah.
All right.
So when he does those long speeches and somebody falls out of a window and dies, when Nelson gives them, do you call that the full Nelson?
It's the Nelson experience.
Yeah, it's the Nelson. He got the full Nelson. He died. Right? Half Nelson, just kind of doze off.
Yeah.
3/4 Nelson.
Well,
Really bored.
yeah. So like in that scenario, like you were saying, like you were like biting your lip or something, right, to like stay awake. Like I went full daydream mode, right? Like I was I wasn't even on Earth anymore. I was just like out of there.
I've seen you go full daydream mode.
No way.
Yes, I have.
When?
Yeah. When I'm talking. You go like,
Sorry.
and I'm like, he's
a glazed
he's
look.
coasting.
He's not
coasting
paying
through
attention.
space and time. He's now figuring out something.
And then he'll say, "Cool."
Yeah. So when I do that, it's like my actual consciousness is somewhere else, and then I have like 2 brain cells who are like managing all interactions while I'm God, right? And one's named Cool, and one's named All Right.
All right.
And then sometimes Wow comes in,
Yeah,
but
Wow's
he,
a good one,
he
too.
leaves sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes on the adventures with the rest of the brain
He does.
That's
for the wow
hilarious.
factor.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Did you have any other weird habits, Eli?
So I definitely had like all of like the 90s kids' habits. You know what I mean? So it was just
What are
like,
those?
okay, so like
What are those?
put your hand out right now. Like just like look at your palm, right? You know where your calluses are at?
Yeah.
Like for some reason, all the kids would take like either like a needle or a safety pin and put it through the callus.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
Right, and then they would just like be like, "Hey, look at this," and then like the little girls at school would be like, "Ah, it's disgusting."
Yeah.
But it's like it's a callus; you can't feel anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
So there was that. Then there's like flipping your eyelids inside out.
I never could do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tried. It actually doesn't work with my eyelids.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It might work. I might have to break something there.
Don't do that. Not
Like
worth it.
There's like a rim around the outside of the eyelid, you know, and it kind of like flaps in the.
And there's like, you ever tried
There's
doing?
a lot to it. A lot to Jason's eyes.
Yeah. And ever tried doing like
complex.
a little like blood pact with like your friend? Like you'd prick your finger and be like, "We're blood brothers," and then you'd like touch your little fingers together and be like, "For life." Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot his name.
You
but
just did that? Dude, we cut our hair.
oh my goodness.
Oh, man. Me and Nicholas Lopez were crazy.
Went all in.
Holy moly. Our favorite movies were like Rambo, Predator, you know,
Oh.
Cobra with Stallone also.
Yeah.
We were crazy, man. All we liked was action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Did anybody else eat paste, or was it just me?
It-
I was a paste
You're a
eater.
paste eater.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
It tasted good. Taste
Yeah.
the paste. It was amazing. Teacher was always
It
taking
was
the paste.
great.
She was taking it from me all the time. This only went up to about 2nd grade.
So like, what did you? Was it like Elmer's glue with a little like thing, and you just
No,
like chug
no,
it?
no.
Or, like, what did you do?
No, it was like a 4-inch round container, and
Okay.
it's unscrewed off. It's kind of like a small like pint. I don't know.
A pint of paste.
A pint of paste. and
What was its purpose though? Like, why would they sell it?
and
Like,
it was for like elementary school.
oh,
And you had like a stick, and you take paste off and like put it on your stuff.
And you would put it in your mouth.
Well, first it started out, I would cover my hands with it,
Oh yeah.
and then I'd peel it off. And then I started like tasting it, and then I was like, this stuff's pretty good. And like another kid in the class was like, yeah, it is. Because me and him were both like dirty kids, you know? Yeah. But that was it. I think it was just kindergarten, and like my mom would put me in summer school also. So kindergarten and summer school before 1st grade.
mm-hmm.
Paste. It's great.
The paste times.
Yeah, they were pasty times.
Pasty times.
it was the paste that tastes great.
That's great.
I don't know. It was weird. Whatever. So that was another weird childhood thing of eating and chewing. The shirt thing. I can't think of anything
So
else.
you just really liked to like
Chew-
eat things.
Yeah.
Like your shirt, your skin, and
Yeah.
paste.
Yep. Yep.
Interesting.
I chew on straws.
Oh yeah, I liked
Yeah,
doing that too.
yeah.
Yeah,
was a
I still do
I was a
that.
straw chewer.
I'd bite pencils. The eraser thing.
Yep.
Pencil fighting. Did you guys do pencil fighting?
Like sword fighting?
Like one person holds a pencil with 2 hands on both ends of the pencil, and the other person has it, and he's gonna like kind of like
Oh, slap the pencil to break the other
pop,
pencil?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a technique they go like you're chopping, karate chopping.
So, like,
have you ever done
No,
that?
no, no,
I've seen kids do it, but like we would do it with spoons, like the plastic spoons.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
You take
yeah.
one end and you like
Yeah.
try to flick it to break the other spoon.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
sporks, the sporks.
Sporks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever look at the number on the back of a spork?
No.
Okay.
There's numbers.
There's numbers
Like-
on the
What
back
does
of
the number
spork.
mean?
I don't know, but we would look at the number, and it determined like who was best at the cafeteria table.
I'm number 1.
Yeah.
According to the spork.
That-
yeah.
That's pretty much how like any kid in the playground played Pokemon cards. Like they all
Yeah.
had them. No one knew how to play.
Oh,
And
yeah.
how you played is if you have Charizard, you win. Right?
Yeah.
That's how you play the game, right? And I just had like a Mankey and a Meowth. So I'm just like, this game
Oh,
sucks,
man.
right?
Yeah.
But it didn't. It was cool.
Yeah.
I was a thumb sucker until
Okay.
like 3rd
Yeah.
grade.
That's it. 3rd grade. Celeste has a cousin that still
That
sucks
was
her
late
thumb.
though. I mean,
Yeah.
people. That's why I had to get braces. But like
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was a thumb sucker.
I remember I held like adult hands longer than I probably should have. Like, you know, a little kid holds her mom's hands,
Yeah.
and then I'd go to the teacher and like want to hold her hand, right?
Aw.
As a little kid, and then
You
Aw.
like,
needed security.
yeah, then eventually I'm just like, I don't like to hold your hand anymore.
I'm
Like,
a big
I'm a
boy
big
now. They're like, all right, Eli. Well, you got 5 more periods left in the day. You're like in high school.
You think you can make it on your own?
I'm proud of you, Eli. Thank you.
Oh, that's funny. That's really
Yeah.
adorable though. At the same time.
All right, you know what I used to do was blow bubbles in the chocolate milk with a straw.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
The
that
little
was-
milk carton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pop them when they were empty? Pop. Did you ever do that? Step on them?
Yeah, other kids did it, you know.
Yeah.
I would
Not all
fold
the
them
time.
nicely and throw them away.
Wow.
Nicely.
Did you ever pop them when there was chocolate milk in them?
No, did you?
Yeah, of course.
Of course he did.
Wasting
man.
chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Like a crime.
A lot of crimes I did. So there was the cafeteria table in 3rd grade. Bon Jovi was very popular at this time, and he had this song. the movie Young Guns. And I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. And me and my buddy Michael Murray rewrote the whole song. And it was about I'm a homeboy and on a steel couch I ride.
Yeah.
And we wrote that in the cafeteria. That was a nice moment. Michael Murray was an interesting boy.
Well, this makes me think of something else if we're done with this topic here.
I don't know. I was just going to keep rambling.
No, you can go. Let's go.
All right. So talent shows. You guys did them?
Heck yes.
What's the best and the most embarrassing one?
Okay. All right. So I was in an after-school program in elementary school that the YMCA ran, and we would do talent shows like almost every week.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
it was like an easy thing for the counselors to do. And our counselors were like, I don't know if they were high schoolers or just weirdos. They were like young adults. They were so mean and rude. And they would beat us at everything we did. Like we had
What?
all kinds of
so
games.
they'd be like, hey, let's play basketball. Grown-ups versus children. Is that like what happened?
My gosh. No, it's just everything. It was, I don't know. I'm just a sore loser. Nevertheless, man, they would they would just do these talent shows, and I was really good at breakdancing. And I remember my cousin taught me these dance moves, and I was like, I want to break, Alex. And he was like, he was in 6th grade, and I was in kindergarten. And he was like, no, man, just do this move, and you'll win every time. Because the other kids are going to try to break, and they're going to lose because they don't know how to break. But I don't want you to mess up. So do these moves. And it was stupid moves. I would roll my hands like this, like tumble my hands, and just go like this. And he just wanted me to do that, like point off to the side, roll my hands and point off to the side, and then at the end spin around. And I won.
What?
And yeah, I won because the other kids had like partners, and they were trying to do breakdancing moves and routines and Michael Jackson moves.
Yeah.
And they kept messing up and arguing with each other and getting embarrassed and laughing. And I just stayed serious face. Boom, boom, like that to the beat the whole time. And I mean, I'd put my foot out sometimes. And yeah. And I won. And I won a pack of cookies that I couldn't eat. I was allergic to them. I was allergic to everything when I was a kid. It was retarded. That's why I ate paste.
I'm not allergic to this.
This is the only thing I'm not allergic to.
Right? So what was your? I don't have an embarrassing one.
Oh, well, I'm
He
the
was just good at
opposite.
everything.
I only have an embarrassing one. I don't have a good one.
Yes, let's hear it.
So I was in the 4th grade, right? And at this time we lived in Providence, Rhode Island, right? New England, right? And then a bunch of little gangsters at our school, right? And during the my older sister, my middle sister, she went to the school also, right? Yeah. And she was in the I hate my little brother phase, you know? So then it's like we were there, and so in the talent show they had this group of kids, right? And they were all like little like gangster kids, but like they could dance, they could break dance. They were break dancing to Nelly's Country Grammar, right? And it was really stinking cool. Like to this day, it was impressive. They were just like doing windmills, head spins and stuff, and they were like very choreographed. And everyone just like the whole crowd went insane. Like even the teachers were just like, ah, right? It was insane, right? So then I got roped into doing a talent show with my friend, right? And my friend is quite literally a young Michael Jackson, right? He was just a small black kid with an afro, right? And he's got a great voice, and he's like hyper dramatic, right? Yeah. And he's got a little brother who's the exact same way, but he's tiny, right? And pretty much they were gonna do like this this song, you know, from that Michael Jackson era, right? And then he's like, "I want you to do it with me," and I'm like, I can't dance, I can't sing, I can't do anything, right?
Oh, wow.
And he's like, no, I want you to come with me. And it's like at the day of the talent show, he went to the teachers and he's like, I'm not doing it unless Eli does it with me.
Wow.
And then quite literally the teachers brought me into a room and like coerced me to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you want me to do? And they're like, well, you just sing background. You don't even have to be that loud. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just like lip sing or something, right? So we get up on stage. And for some reason, my mic was like louder than his mic, right? They had it right to my face. And then like the music started, and then like his little brother was like doing like backflips and like somersaults and stuff and like handsprings, right? And he was like singing like really nicely. and I didn't even know the words of the songs.
you're just-
Every time a chorus went on, I was just like, just like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, it was bad. Everyone was just like, what is this? And like at the end, like half them were booing and half were cheering because like, you know, he was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, it was just like, you know, like you'd walk down there and everyone would be like, good job, good job. So they would say that. And then when it comes to me, they'd just be like, you suck.
Did they really say that?
A couple did. My sister didn't even look at me, right? And she like disowned me in front of her friends.
Yeah.
And
She's like, no, he's not my brother.
right, and right, I know who he is.
Yeah.
He must be a loser, right?
Yeah.
So she's a big sister, you know. That's what they do. But regardless, it was incredibly embarrassing.
Yeah.
And like after that, like a friend's trying to counsel me, like, no, you actually did pretty good. It's just like, no.
I got 2 more talent shows. Okay, I'm gonna bring up. First one, most embarrassing one, I'll save for last because that's got to be a finale. And it's not me in the talent show. It was my sister in the talent show. But this other one, I went to a camp, a summer camp. My mom would always put me in these crazy summer camps, the cheapest ones around. And she put me in asthma camp. And an asthma camp is run.
You've been to the most interesting camps. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, it was the Heart and Lung Association that would put it together.
Of course.
Yeah, and it was like a bunch of nurses and a respiratory therapist and like one doctor on campus. And at the end of the camp, it was great. We did all these activities, a lot of swimming, a lot of breathing exercises, obviously. And and then we would go on a field trip every day, and it was a great camp. I really enjoyed it.
But you didn't have asthma?
I do have asthma.
You do have asthma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you like the only kid there that didn't have asthma? And like you just showed up and everyone has their inhalers and
No.
you're just like breathing free and easy?
It seemed as if I didn't have asthma because I was the least like out of all the kids there, I didn't have as bad as asthma as everybody else did. It seems like my asthma was like, I've thought my asthma was really bad because I have chronic asthma, but there was kids there that were just like horrible. Their asthma was horrible. Maybe it's because they were out of shape. One kid I made really close friends with, his name was Scott, and he had cystic fibrosis. And so that was what was going on with him, and it was rough because he had like all these bumps on him, all over him, and he was a cool guy though. And him and I really hit it off. And there was a couple of big kids that were like bullies. Yeah, and I got in trouble for hurting one of the bullies. That was weird.
I think it's just weird. It's a bully with asthma. He's like, you are gonna pay for this, right?
Right, yeah.
Right, once I catch my breath, you're dead.
Well, everybody there had asthma, and he was
Right?
and he was a big kid. He was large,
Yeah.
and he was pushing another kid around and like getting big on him, and like standing over them, type of thing, and like, I'm big, you're little. You have to do what I say, right? Just a Mongolian troll that lives under a bridge, and I'm just like, no, not today, you big doofus. And I was from a different part of town because this was like all these different groups of people from all over Miami, and I took my knuckle, like this knuckle, what do you call that? The medial phalange, and I put it on his cheek, and I raked it across like his cheek on his teeth. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? You ever do that?
No.
No.
But keep
Cuts
going.
like you'd probably love it because it's on the inside of the mouth. You
Yeah.
can chew on your mouth all
Oh,
day.
great.
Yeah.
I'd be
So
like, hey, I heard you're bullying kids. You want to do that to me? Sorry. Keep going.
you're like, it really opens it up more. I can taste the
It tastes different
yeah,
flavors.
the
Oh my
savory.
God.
It has that umami taste flavor that the Japanese love. So I did that to him, and I just like raked my knuckle across his face, and everybody was like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Ah!" And he just started spitting out blood.
Was
Right?
it that bad though?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, like don't get me wrong, like it sounds like it'd be pretty bad if he's spitting out blood.
It
but
just
it's
cuts
like,
the inside of mouth on his
but
teeth.
a lot of times with like these bully kids, like you'll do the littlest thing and then it just like flop over and start yelling. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And he was like, "Ow!" And he's spitting out blood. He's like, he didn't even know how to stay. He's like, he hit me, and I was like, I didn't hit him. I just raked his face. And then one of the nurses comes over and like grabs me by my trap and starts squeezing real hard.
Oh my goodness.
Right? He's like, "You think you're tough? You come here, because I was an outcast kid. I had a mohawk and I was wearing sunglasses. I'll give you that." All right. and I was from, Carroll City, a certain part of town that not everybody likes.
Uh-huh.
And he's squeezing my shoulder, right? And he's trying to inflict pain on me. And I'm just like, just taking it.
I mean,
right? And I'm like, no.
I mean, where do adults get off by doing stuff like that? You know what I mean?
The 80s. So he was probably high on coke. It's Miami. All right. So he works in the medical field. Yeah. And he's been with these kids all week. He's done. Yeah. So at that camp, asthma camp, at 80 Barnes Park, that's where we were. They do a talent show, and we had to pick our thing, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, right? And I chose Scott, like you got picked. That's what made me think you got like the involuntary talent show. You got dragged into it.
Pretty much.
Right? You're like, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?" "No, I don't know how to sing. I can't dance." Yeah, and you're up there singing and dancing. You're like, yeah, PYT, pretty young thing. Right? Yeah. And you just stick to the moves, man. Stay in the box. Yeah. And so I did that to this kid, Scott, and I was like, "You're in the talent show." He's like, "No, I can't. I have asthma." I was like, "We all have asthma. You can't use that excuse here." And he's like, "What are we gonna do?" I go, "We're gonna sing a song, and all you gotta do is just be my patient in a dentist chair." And he's like, "What?" I go, "I'm gonna play the part of the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors, played by Steve Martin." I know this is crazy, right? What?
How old were you, Jason?
I think I was 9 or 10. And
all right.
and the show Little Shop of Horrors was have you ever seen that one with Rick Moranis? Look it up. Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis and Steve Martin. And I sing the whole song, and Steve Martin's a dentist, but he's like a masochist. And is the masochist that wants to give the pain? No, he's a sadist.
Sadist wants to feel the pain, right? Is that
I thought they want to give the pain, or which one gives it?
I think the masochist, I don't even know. They're almost interchangeable to me.
Well, what happens is Bill Murray comes in, and Bill Murray plays a part of the opposite.
Masochist enjoys the pain.
Okay, so Steve Martin's the sadist, and he gets off on giving pain. And he's real mean. He's a bully, and he abuses his girlfriend and all this stuff, and he abuses his patients. And he's a dentist, and he sings this whole song about how he was a little kid and he loved playing with toys. But he found out later that he liked hurting people and all this stuff. And he sings this whole like Broadway song, and that was the song I sang as I'm torturing Scott on the dentist chair. And so that was what I did for the talent show. That was pretty embarrassing, I think, for my mom when she found out, and everybody else. And they were like, "Why did we let this kid? This is the one? Yeah, he's the one that raked the other kid in the mouth." And it was like, "Oh my goodness, there's something wrong with Jason."
Well,
and all right, so the most embarrassing one was, did you look it up?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what song you did. Was it the dentist song?
Yeah, it was a dentist
Steve
song.
Martin?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
so like before you tell that story, I mean, I'm just wondering if Maddie has a embarrassing talent show she'd like to share.
I have a interesting one. So it wasn't actually like a real like talent show at a school. I don't think I ever actually participated in one of those, but when I was in 5th grade, I decided I wanted to be a party planner. So I invited like 30 kids over to my house.
Wow.
And we got pizza, we had slip and slides.
Wow.
I did this whole thing.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I did it once, and that was it. My parents were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Then it started raining outside. So what did we have to do? We had to bring all the kids inside. So we're like, let's do a talent show.
Nice.
And so we all did a little talent show. And when I was younger, I went by the name Maddie G, and that was my rapper name.
Oh,
And I wrote a little rap for myself, and that was my talent.
That's
was
awesome.
rapping.
that is
did you
awesome.
win?
I mean, it was my own talent show that I put on.
You should have won.
Yeah. Did anybody else do anything to?
I think a girl did like a cartwheel, and then like it
Oh,
was just like
yeah.
it was just like,
Okay.
look what I can do, and it
Oh,
just
yeah.
like little.
Yeah.
It was
Well-
just neighborhood kids basically
Yeah.
that I
got
just
just more
invited
show
over.
and tell.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the problem I have with talent shows is like some people like have trouble with the outward talent. So it's like you get up there and be like, well, I have a great personality. Everyone's like, boo.
We hate you.
And that's about it. You know?
Your personality sucks. You lied.
All right, Jason, what's the other one you had?
Okay, so do y'all remember Madonna when she first performed for the MTV Music Awards, and she sang "Like a Virgin"?
None
And
of
she
us
was-
were born
And
yet.
she was wearing the wedding dress, and she started like humping the stage.
No.
You don't remember that? Madonna, she was like 19, 20 years old. She was so young. And this was her first like introduction to the world. Everybody's like, Whore of Babylon, right? That's when they saw her. Did you pull that one up?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now.
Okay. Well, we were at summer camp for the YMCA, and a lot of YMCA stories. And my sister decides she's going to do this reenactment.
Oh, no.
No.
And she goes in. She brought the dress. She does the whole song. Does all the maneuvers, all the counselors and the administration. Everybody's like, what is going on? And I'm just like, I'm totally going to beat her in this talent show. And everybody was like, what? And she is going full dramatic Madonna MTV Music Awards,
Man.
Like a Virgin, singing it. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Oh, my God. So
Can you put audio on it? Can it play, or is it?
well,
You won't be able to
we
hear
won't be
it.
able to hear it, but
Oh man.
I mean, what I'm wondering is like did MTV know she was going to do that?
no,
Or were they
no.
just...
This is the same one that Michael Jackson did the first moonwalk on.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's like a
is
very
that 1984?
iconic MTV then, right?
Oh, that's great. I love that you guys like. I guess I never thought of talents being like reenacting like things like this.
Yeah,
I've just
Yeah.
always thought of them like, oh, kind of like
Yeah.
what mine was, like a show and
Well,
tell
Yeah.
thing. I think that's so
It's-
cool. You guys just went all
No,
out.
It's supposed to be a show and tell thing, but people nowadays just copy what someone else is doing. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it's called acting. Yeah.
I mean,
or what is that called?
not a lot of talent then.
I mean, can you do it?
I mean,
You don't have
not
the
that.
You don't have the talent for it, or
I mean, I know, dress up in a
Yeah.
dress and
not a lot of people
lip
can
sync
do it,
Madonna.
man. I mean, like
I
there's
mean, just because you can do
method
it
acting.
doesn't mean it's a talent. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people who like lick their eyeball. Like, is that a talent? You know what I mean? Or is it just
I think
something
so.
they can do?
Or when they
that
put
that
their,
might
like,
be something they can do.
or the tongue thing where they make
Yeah.
like a clover with their tongue.
Right. I
So-
think if it's like a physical attribute
Uh huh.
compared to like a person reenacting an event, you know,
Uh huh. I mean, but like,
some people can't do it.
I feel
they
like
have the
to-
ability
I feel like
to put on the clothes and go through the motions.
but like to call it
and
a
do the-
talent, isn't that almost a little subjective? You know what I mean?
no?
Because like, what exactly is a talent?
Well, I think it's a term of money from the Bible.
It is. But like, yeah, like using that term, you know what I mean? So it's just like, look, my talent is to,
Oh, you think you
Blah,
mean
blah,
like
blah,
a
blah, blah, blah.
skill?
yeah. So is it a
Yeah.
skill or is it more of like a subjective thing, kind of like art is subjective? You know what I mean?
Well, art is a skill, and depending on what art it is, I mean, like painting.
I mean,
Or
well,
you could be
like
talented
art.
at a skill.
Well, the difference between talent and skill. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
The difference between talent and skill is like talent is like you have you lean more towards like being good at say baseball, right? Or your athleticism. and you learn sports really good, right? Or you have an ear for music and you're not tone deaf.
Well, like
and you can
most-
pick up music pretty
yeah,
good.
Most
A
people
skill-
call that gifted.
a
right?
skill or gifted. Okay, if you want to call it gifted. Either way, same thing. A skill is where you train and you learn how to do it as a skill.
But the talent's the
like a
natural.
carpenter, a painter, like a skill. I mean, there's a saw named after a skill saw.
So, but think about this. They call it a talent show, not a skill show.
Right, and I think it's called a talent show
Okay.
because they're not professionals. They're like they're not fully skilled in it. They're like they're scouting for talent to see who would be who would be good for a position in modeling, acting.
That's really like
singing.
X Factor, just like a talent show that's nationwide, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go.
It's. I mean, they're that's what they're doing. These are managers and stuff looking for people with talent. They haven't honed their skill yet, but they're showing promise and potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then,
So now I need to know how you topped your sister's talent.
I didn't. She was amazing. She did the whole thing.
really?
Yeah, she did the whole thing. My sister is very dramatic. And I tried to. I reenacted, which was so stupid, I couldn't even come close to her. I was Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. And and everybody thought I was Bruce Springsteen. And then it was just like, no, I'm Nikki Sixx. And they were like, we don't even know who that is. I was like, you guys are losers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
I don't think anybody was listening to Motley Crue at that time. I think I was like
You were just
yeah.
ahead of the times.
So like thinking back at like talent shows, like I remember like at least in elementary, not half, but like 3 or 4 people straight up did like the Macarena, right? That was their talent show, right?
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
as a little kid, I'm like, that's not talent, right?
Right,
You're
right.
just copying him, right?
Okay.
But like
yeah.
maybe it is talent. What do I know? You know what
It
I mean?
is talent.
It
I mean,
is.
there's nothing new under the sun. We're all copying something.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, like
We're all doing something that somebody else is
the
doing
thing
right
when they
now.
say like everything is new like nothing's new under the sun. I mean, that's true, but like creativity comes from taking those things and putting a different twist on it.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? So it's like
is.
it's not new, but it also is new.
Like podcasting, I mean, anyone can make a podcast, right? But you kind of have to have some sort of talent to be able to
skillfully
keep it
hone it.
going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, to make it
All the
better.
technology behind it,
Yeah.
Eli does all that stuff. Just being able to talk like this, that's
Bant-
hard for some people.
Banter.
Yeah.
And even with talent, like I'm
Jason's talented at that.
like I'm obviously
I'm full of it.
like I'm obviously giving them a hard time, like the kids in the talent show, because they're kids, right? So I'm like me be like, you suck. It's like they're like 8 years old, right? Like,
Right, yeah.
give
they're-
them a break.
They're
but
reenacting everything. On the basketball court, they're reenacting Michael Jordan. I remember when I was in elementary school, every time somebody I hate to say it, every time they started running the football, they're like, the juice is loose, O.J. Simpson, because that was my time. Right?
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson was like, oh, he was a thing, right? And now he's not so much,
no.
right? We would say his talent has drowned in the sea of darkness and murder. All right, so
Do you want to move on, Eli?
Sure.
Okay. Let's talk about reality TV.
yeah,
Yeah, Jason.
okay.
If you were to create a reality TV show, what would it be about?
And this is like a preface to like when we were talking before the podcast, when we were saying like we found out a lot of reality TV is fake. And I should have seen this coming,
Yeah.
right? But it's like after she mentioned like these shows are fake, I'm like, I can't believe I actually believed it was real this whole
Oh, did
time.
you?
Like some
Yeah.
of them, like
it's like kids believing WWE is for real.
my heart
Yeah.
broke once I found out it was a lie.
Yeah.
So like my cousin Marilla would like say something like that. I'm like, you're nothing but a meanie and a liar and you're
Yeah.
ugly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like I remember like
Yeah.
it finally clicked it was fake. Like it was when Floyd Mayweather was fighting the Big Show, and then Floyd Mayweather won, and I'm like, it's all a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how it
Unless
happened.
he like hits him in the balls, which is pretty. He could do it.
He's pretty.
Yeah,
he's right there.
He's right there. That's
Big Show's huge.
2 speed bags and a heavy bag in his face. Just hit the one in the middle. Yeah. So That's a quote from Rocky 4. All right. But if I did a reality show,
Yeah.
it would probably be okay, and this is because I work at the high school. I would do a reality show at the high school, and it would
Ooh.
be among the school staff, not just the teachers, like the entire staff.
Oh,
Secretaries,
my goodness.
maintenance, janitors, teachers, substitute teachers, and the
I
librarian.
feel like it's going to be like the raunchiest show ever.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not a good show. Not rated for children.
Oh, definitely not. And it's happening
In
in a
a
high
school.
school. Oh my gosh.
All the behind the scenes.
And there's
of
so
high
much,
school.
so many. It's so funny because there's the different departments. There's the history department,
Yep.
the math department, right? There's the sped department. And at the end of the school, there's like the intensive special needs department.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's the physical education department.
Would you?
Right?
Would any of it be fake, or would you just basically like let it play out the way it is?
I'd let it play out the way it is.
It's that good.
It's the best.
It's
It's
that
the best if
juicy?
it's raw and real. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah, it's so crazy, man. So crazy. So many teachers are just not about the students. They're just like this mother, boop, and they're like, I'm tired of this kid. Don't you know this kid is always pushing the line with
Yeah.
me, and they come in and they just digress.
Yeah.
Because I work in behavioral health, so they think they're gonna come in there and I'm just like, I want to listen to them. I think that's what they think.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I have a lot of teachers outside of my best friend that comes in there, and I don't mind if he comes in because I can give him feedback. The other ones, I'm just like, hey, listen, you're not a good teacher.
Yeah.
I can't say that to them, right? I'm just a visitor in the school campus.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was a substitute teacher for a while, and I was in the lunchroom with just eating my sandwich, and they would just come in and being like, yeah, and this kid, blah, 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 blah. But it was just like, I feel like I was that kid. You know what I mean? Like I was like a little problem kid. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
I know that they all went, Mrs. Ross and Ms. Leo, and all of them went into the back room. They're like, this kid, like, I'm done with him.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like a bit discouraging. You know what I mean?
Okay, now that you say it, makes me think, what were teachers saying about me? Oh,
I can't imagine.
My mom just found so my stepdad just passed away, and my wife went down with the kids, the teenagers, down there to help them pack up and move up here, so my mom would stay with us. Now she lives with us, and she said she talked to me down there, and she hasn't showed it to me yet. She said she found a letter that I wrote my 6th grade teacher. And she was like, do you remember that letter you wrote? I was like, yeah, I remember. I don't remember what I wrote, but I remember writing the letter. And she's like, I found it. She goes, I still have it. They called me into the principal's office because of it. I go, Mom, do you remember what you told me about that letter? I asked you how to spell a word, and you said, get a dictionary. and you said, you need to get a dictionary and figure out how to write down all the words that you want to say to this teacher. My mom was upset with the teacher. And the whole thing that happened was the teacher blamed me for stealing something from her. And I didn't. And I was livid. And I let her know. I wrote it was like a 2-page paper. And it was crazy, man. And I think my mom read it over and made corrections and had me rewrite it again. Yeah. And then I was just like, gave it to the teacher. Here's the letter, what I think about you. Yeah.
Wow.
And
It
then
was
what?
crazy. I got in trouble for stealing something that I didn't steal.
No, but what did she say about the letter?
They brought me into the school because I threatened to kill the teacher
In the letter?
in the letter.
What did
Your
you
mom
say?
didn't edit that part out?
No, man. My mom is okay.
She was just as mad.
She's a super liberal, and she's like, you need to express yourself 100% fully, right?
Oh,
she's like,
yeah.
She's like, be you. Never not be yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? And even if it's at the expense
Yeah.
of being expelled from school.
Yeah. There's like,
She's like, you're taking a stand.
Yeah.
You're like Gandhi.
well,
No.
yeah, there's this meme that shows like 2 birds, right? And one bird's like, hey, you remember how you always tell me to be myself? Right? He's like, what's my most defining feature? He's like, oh, you like to start fires. He's like, bingo, I crave the flame. Well, thanks for helping me be my real self, right? And that's like the whole meme. And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe some people shouldn't be their real selves, you know? Maybe you should just try to change.
Yeah, I needed some help. And I didn't get it just yet, but I guarantee you 2 years later I did get it. And yeah, and my mom has a letter, and I can't wait to read it again. But I know that teacher. She was young. She was a young teacher, and she was always trying to build rapport with the students. And I remember she had like a party on the weekend and sent out all this stuff to parents for them to meet at this lake. And there was like a beach lake, and they were going to have it was like a 6th grade class party. And they had volleyball and barbecue and all this stuff, and parents were there, and it was like all this stuff. And I showed up, and I remember just not wanting to be there. Yeah. But I do remember wrestling with my friend Eric, and I had a blast.
A beach lake.
Yeah. It's like a beach on the lake.
Yeah,
it's like
I
sand
get what you
got
mean.
like a
Yeah.
dump there by
That's funny.
by a truck.
What about you, Eli?
Reality TV, you mean?
Yeah.
So earlier before the podcast, I mentioned like a baseball reality TV show of just like kids trying to make it into like, actual credible like either baseball schools or like the big leagues and stuff. And it's just going to be completely raw and real, and people are going to love it. And it's just going to be in like a very, not in this town, but like we might Florida, South,
Yeah, or
South
Clewiston, Florida,
Yeah.
or one of those towns.
or just go straight to the Dominican Republic or Cuba, because that would be also really cool.
There's actually a couple of documentaries that are really good on baseball in Cuba,
dude,
and in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and how
So-
it got so big.
Yeah, so it's like I kind of don't want to do it because I feel like someone's probably already did it, because this seems like something that someone would have already
I
done.
don't think a reality show, but I know there was like there's like a spoof kind of reality show with that guy. What is it? Eastbound and Down, or Eastbound and Down. I think that's the name of it. Do you know what I'm talking about? And it was like he was a professional or semi-pro baseball player, and it's like a comedy.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I think it was like HBO or somebody that did it. It's really raunchy.
Okay. Well, so like another reality TV show, let's say I don't do that one. It's going to be like part of the TLC network, and it's going to follow compulsive liars, and I just want to see all the crazy stuff they say.
Wow.
You know what I
That's
mean?
a good one.
So it's like I wanted to see them go to their doctor, and the doctor's like, "So what's wrong?" And then I want to see them lie just because they can't help themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the doctor's like, "But nothing's wrong with your back." And he's like, his neck's like this. He's like, "Oh, doc." Right? He's just trying to like lie and lie and lie, and I want to hear what his family has to say.
Yeah.
And
There's
anyway.
something that happens, and I went through it also, is where people go to psychologists, and they're talking to the psychologist, and it's usually like in the first few meetings where they just kind of talk and they make up stuff, just kind of see what the reaction of the psychologist is. I remember doing that to my
Dude,
my
I'm
counseling
pretty sure
sessions.
people do that in real life. I mean, like not even the counselors. Like I work at a pizza place, and like I worked other jobs, and people would just come up to me and just say the craziest things, right?
Right, get a rise out of you.
Right,
a
and then they'd look
reaction.
at me, and then it's just like, I don't know how to feel about this, right? Like I'm not gonna just like believe what you say, especially if you sound like all crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
I
people
get
just
that every day at the high school.
I think people just get off on that kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When they're just like, yeah, so then I saw her kill my brother-in-law, and they just look at me, right? And I'm just like, sorry, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
And don't know what to say, you know.
Liar, you don't have a brother-in-law. You're right.
I believe everything that's like told to me, so I'm like, oh, really? Tell me more, and I like get like all into
You
it.
just keep going with it.
But now that I work in politics, I don't believe a word anyone
Oh,
tells me.
that's awesome.
That's
I mean,
pretty
that's
good.
not awesome.
It's just I've started to be less trusting of what people say.
Wow.
But yeah,
That
I don't know if it's ruined me or actually like made me better.
I think it's helped you, like
it probably has helped you
Oh, yeah.
tremendous.
see
like,
yeah.
a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up as a really gullible kid, and then that turned me into a skeptic because I've just been lied to so many times. And then from there, I had to find my way back to believing people again after being a skeptic. So it's just like a full circle. And
Oh.
people are just naturally trusting. I think they have to go through that kind of circle. You know what I
Isaac,
mean?
my son, believes everybody and everything he hears. He's so trusting. Angelina's the opposite.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
I see
Mm-hmm.
that 100%.
She's like, Show me.
Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. No way. Yeah. Isaac's totally different. That's a really good one, though.
Yeah, the compulsive liar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about you, Maddie?
Ooh, I was actually looking up different types of like reality TV
Mm.
shows. I was kind of thinking. I like them. I kind of like the one that you brought up about the compulsive liar, like Social Experiment. That's one of the types of reality TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like following certain types of people. I like those kind. I can't think of one right off the top of my head.
Aloysia and my mother-in-law, Gina, they
Yeah.
love After Lockup.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, that
They-
has to be scripted.
They call it smut TV.
Smut.
Smut. And they're
Oh.
like, yeah. It's and I walk every time I walk in like to watch it with them. It's not all the time, but when I do catch them, it's like once every 8 months. And and I'll walk in and I'll be like, Love After Lockup, okay, and I'll be watching it, and then I have to add my 2 cents on everything. I'm like, this is crazy.
Your 5 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's like people that just got out of jail and they're trying to find love.
Yeah, or they're dating, or
Well,
it's
it's based off of a website where you could actually look for people in prison, and the people in prison could look for someone outside of prison to date, and they talk for a while, and then they get let out of prison, and then they meet up, and they like try to get engaged like immediately almost. A lot of these, you know what I mean? They're like, we've known each other for 2 days now. Let's just get married. And then it's like, this, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Right? That's just the attitude they have about it, you know?
Yep. He's like, and the chick's like, are you for real? Don't be playing with my emotions. He's like, no, I am for real. And he's like trying to convince himself, let's do it. They're like, let's do it. And they're just such risk takers, you know? Like these people have no grounding.
I thought of
under
one.
them. Oh, nice.
Okay, so when you work at like a fast food restaurant, all the behind the scenes drama that happens with all the coworkers.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like you could go around to
Yeah.
different like fast food restaurants and get in the drama.
Mm.
Because there's so much. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get so close with those people and you know everything about their lives.
Yeah.
And then when you don't work with them anymore, you never talk to them again.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. So,
Restaurant
yeah.
life is a lot of drama.
You worked
It
at a
is.
lot of
I
restaurants.
worked at a lot of
Yeah,
restaurants.
and I was almost gonna say that just because like the few I did work at, like I was thinking like an office like episode where there's a camera and then the person just looks at the camera once in a while,
breaks character, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just thought that'd be pretty funny, but
Well,
yeah.
there is a show I think called like Undercover Boss, where he's undercover
Yeah.
as the boss.
I mean,
Nobody
why
knows
haven't
that.
why haven't they done that with Jeff Bezos, right? Like, wouldn't that be
Yeah.
the episode to make, right?
The Kylo Ren SNL skit where they do Undercover Boss and Kylo Ren is like posing as like a maintenance guy. And
Yeah,
did you see that one?
yeah, I did.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
fun.
And then it's like he would say stuff like, "What do you think of our super cool, handsome, and attractive boss, Kylo Ren?"
Yeah.
right. And then like afterwards, the worker's like, "I think Jeff is Kylo Ren."
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That is so funny.
Have you guys heard of Catfish?
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
I
it,
love that show.
so like just like tell me if I'm getting it right. So it's just like, you know, oh, swipe right, this person's young and attractive, and that was them from like 20 years ago, right? And
Or
then
it's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Sometimes they turn out to be like a guy when they post
Yeah.
as a girl.
Yeah.
That's
or
pretty
something
funny.
like that.
Yeah.
And
That's-
but these people like devote their like years to this person, talking to them, but they
Oh,
make up
no.
excuses to not see them, and they'll reach out to this guy and they'll be like, "Hey, like I've been really talking to this person. I really want to meet them." And so they go and record and get some background, and then they finally meet up with the person, and then
Mhm.
they're not who they say they were, and then there's a total like meltdown.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are who they say they are,
Mhm.
but it's usually like insecure people who like take pictures of like really pretty
Yeah.
people off
Yeah.
the internet
Yeah.
and then completely it
Yeah.
messes people up. But it's really entertaining, sadly.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
sorry.
sure.
I think the
Does that
restaurant.
make
Going
sense?
back to the restaurant one.
Sorry, I just love catfish. What's y'all's favorite reality TV show?
My
Oh,
favorite reality,
you know-
I think is the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, like, I don't know what's my favorite, but off the
That's
top
so
of my
terrible.
head, it has to be like Chris Hansen's The Catch a Predator, because that's technically reality TV,
Oh,
isn't it?
man.
Right? And he's always like, "Hi,
That
I'm
one's
Chris
crazy.
Hansen. Take a seat," right? And
Yeah.
then these guys that he catches, like, they couldn't look creepier if they wanted
Yeah,
to, right?
And what's crazy, they don't run. They're like, they sit down. They're like, have a cookie.
They're like,
He's like, so what are you
"Sure."
doing here? Yeah. I'm just hanging out.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like at a 13-year-old girl's house, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, you know," right? And
Yeah.
he always says something
She's
stupid.
13.
I
And
never
then
knew
he'll
that.
read off the script.
Oh,
to her.
I
Right?
know
And
what you're
it's
talking
so
about.
awkward.
Okay.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Where they like they come to the house to like meet up with the
Yeah, it's-
young girl, and
Yeah.
then he's sitting there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
with
he
eating
walks in.
cookies or whatever.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
walks in.
He
yeah.
walks in and is just like, "Hey, so what you doing?"
Yeah.
And they're all
then
just like
Yeah, and like one of,
casually chatting.
one of the best ones when it's like he walks in, he goes, "Hi, I'm Chris Hansen." The guy's like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "No, yes, I am." He's like, "I am Chris Hansen." Right? And I just thought that was too funny.
No, you're
He's just trying to tell him. Yeah, it's a wild show. Yeah.
There's I'm trying to think, man. That reminded me. Never mind. I can't even remember. Threw me off.
Sorry.
Chris Hansen. Yeah.
You were talking about The Ultimate Fighter as your
Oh,
favorite reality show.
Yeah, the one that I like the most. Definitely. I think I feel like
Yeah, it's a
I
tournament,
understand,
man.
I understand everything
A
that's going on.
tournament
in
of
it.
fighting. It's awesome.
Yeah.
There should be more shows like it.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't like the fakeness of actual reality TV shows.
Well, like even the Ultimate Fighter is a little bit fake in
Little
the
bit
sense
fake.
in the sense
Yeah.
that they always have to have a guy in there who's just
A
insane.
goon.
And like just because like the level is so high of combat, now he could actually fight. Like what's his
Right.
name, Ricky? He actually won the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The guy they brought in there to be crazy actually won. you
Dude,
know?
he was good.
Yeah, man.
He's wild. Yeah.
He is. He's like a new Tony Ferguson.
He
man.
totally. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And
right?
he believes in himself.
Yeah.
That man, belief in yourself will go far. I think he even said that at the end. He was like, you work hard, you aim high.
You know he was
believe
watching
in
Naruto,
yourself."
right?
Yeah.
You know he was, right? He was
Yeah.
like, believe it.
Right? Yeah. He was like, believe it. Yeah. But
Yeah.
And then the other dude that I thought was not gonna win ended up winning.
Brian
also.
Battle.
Brian
And
Battle.
The thing of the show is it's so unpredictable because you don't know who's going to get injured. You don't know who's going to have an
Yeah.
off day.
Yeah.
And it's like they all look pretty good to me. At least the fights that I watch, I'm like, I could see a potential future where any of these guys wins.
Yeah.
And it's just surprising to see who actually won.
I was like, Brian Battle looks so goofy, man. He doesn't bring his hands back to his face. His stance is all too.
Well,
his feet are too close together.
we
He
didn't
stands tall.
We didn't even
I was
finish
like,
watching the whole thing, right? So we
Yeah.
don't know who he fought in the semifinals. We don't know like anyone else on the show.
I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
I was going for the guy with the black dude with the eyes too close together.
Yeah, I think he got injured.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was good.
he was supposed to fight Brian Battle. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
That would have been hands down the Georgia boy.
Handstand.
I think he's
hands-
Georgia, yeah.
Yeah, hands down, he would have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Uh-huh.
kicked so hard.
Dude, he looked really strong.
Yeah.
Just
He
physically.
looked strong, and after at
Yeah.
the end of his first fight, he started opening it up, letting it fly. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of fighting, I just want to cover real quick Dougie's fight. He did great outside of being like out of breath.
He
By the
defended his title.
Yeah, by the second round, he was putting it on Alton Prince, and he was doing great. He looked good on the ground. He was doing everything I said, except for at the end, he didn't give me any props.
Oh.
Yeah,
Aw, man.
Seth goes, he didn't give you any props, man, and you won the fight for him.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, man, it's all good.
Like-
You can't hate Dougie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So I was like, he did great.
Yeah.
He's out of breath. He's tired.
Yeah.
And then, but the best part of the night was the professional wrestling, and they had two professional wrestlers on there that were actually professional MMA fighters, and one of them,
Yeah, what
was
were their
phenomenal.
names?
I can't remember.
You said they
Yeah.
were part of was it like Uriah
Te-
Faber's camp?
Yeah, Team Alpha Male.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I can't remember, but I took this epic picture.
Oh my goodness, dude, that guy's just yoked. Is that him?
Yeah. No.
Okay, there's a Dominican guy, and he's gonna get his head bashed in. Okay, but he looks crazy.
Isn't that a great picture?
It's a all-time classic.
And it was these two on the floor outside of the cage were the MMA fighters because they were doing like all MMA sparring.
Dude.
And the black dude did like a flying triangle and then like a rolling over the back into an arm bar, and it was just like, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They got into a heel hook battle.
What?
On the side on the floor.
Did anyone else know what was happening aside from you? Like, were people like, oh, so intricate, or was that just you?
Isaac and Sean. Sean Babbitt, yeah. And they tried to get Isaac and Sean to they were like, you guys should get a part of this. You're perfect for this. Because Isaac and Sean were in the back in the weight room.
Yeah.
Like doing everything contest.
Yeah.
They're like, who can hold a pull-up the longest? Who can hold it in a curling the longest? Who can a chin-up? And it was just like, who can hold a handstand? They were so bored. They were doing all kinds of stuff, Isaac and Sean. And these guys were like, you guys are incredible. You just held a pull-up for like 5 minutes. Yeah, Isaac's like, I am not letting go. He goes, he's like talking Sean down. He's like, you want to quit. Your body can't take it. You're going to hurt yourself, Sean. And Sean's like,
nah.
He's like, you need to let go. They're both like talking trash to each other.
You're just convincing me that we need to start like a wrestling circuit here, right? And get all of Isaac's friends in on it pretty much. And then they'll just be caricatures. And then we'll just write out a whole wacky script, man.
Isaac already has a name.
Oh, yeah, Big Poppy, right?
Big Poppy.
Yeah.
He's got a name, everything. He's got a dance. He's golden, man.
Nice.
I think it'll be great. Big Poppy, and he does his little dance. He goes like that.
Yeah, and like I think I truly like appreciated wrestling when I became an adult because I'm looking at it as a grown-up. And I know these are also grown-ups who are acting that way. Yeah. And I think that's the funniest thing ever. And they're having a good time. They're having
a blast, dude. They were inspiring me, man. These guys are like my age, and they were like doing acrobatic moves and rolling all over the place. And jumping and falling and rolling. And I was like, oh, my gosh.
Well, I really just love the goofiness. Like, I was watching the other day, like, Kurt Angle was rap battling John Cena. And it was just, like, cheesy. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like I know he's having a fun time, right? Yeah. Like, doing the whole thing, you know? And then, like, the rap ended with, and I won a medal with a broken neck, you know?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did. And speaking of that, another gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, Gable Stevenson.
Oh.
Did you hear about that? He just signed with WWE. He just won the gold for the Tokyo Gold. And he just, and so everybody's like, is he going to go back to college? Is he going to wrestle again?
Dude.
In college, you get that national... And they were like, and he was like, no way, I'm not going back. I just signed over to WWE for millions of dollars.
He is a smart guy because after he won the gold, right, he just marketed the crap out of himself, and he was talking to everyone. Even like I even saw it in like UFC feeds and fight feeds, and they're like, Gable Stevenson's blah 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 blah. I'm like, who's this guy? Right?
Yeah, you had to look him up.
I had to look him up, right? So I thought that was really cool, man. He knows like how to do it right. You know,
he did it right. I'm proud of him, and I was like, man. Isaac might end up going into pro wrestling.
He should. He should be the rope guy. I think him and Kyle should be a tag team rope duo. Oh, man.
They got the looks,
and
too.
Then, they got the looks. And then they could just do, like, crazy tag team formations. They could make up, like, special moves, right? Yeah. Like the Poppy Bomb or whatever.
The Poppy Bomb.
Right?
The Poppy Seed.
That should be another one of his moves. Yeah. I love special moves in wrestling. It's just the coolest.
I love it when you call me Big Poppy. Yeah.
Say hello to my little seed.
Poppy don't preach.
Poppy don't Oh, my gosh.
All right. So speaking of Olympians, I got to go to a swim meet this Friday at Kenai High School to watch my daughter swim. Angelina. And she was swimming against Lydia Jacoby, Seward's Olympic gold medalist. She's still in high school.
Oh, my goodness.
17-year-old.
She's still allowed to compete?
Yeah.
That's kind of unfair, isn't it?
Unfair.
Here's the crazy part. She swims the 50 free, and then her time is 26:05. Kenai's girl has a time, and it's 26 like 36, like just milliseconds off. And Angelina comes in third with 28.
Dude.
We were all like, what?
Whoa.
And she was like running a fever that day.
Dude. That's kind of crazy that she's competitive with like an Olympic
With
gold
an
medalist.
Olympic gold medalist.
You're like, you could go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
You could
saw-
be in WWE. Right?
We she would be great.
She has
Oh
the
my
attitude.
God.
Doesn't she have the
She's
attitude?
been dressing like that since she was like born. You know when she was first born and they put her on that little table with the warming light, like she's
Yeah.
gonna get served.
The warming
You know
light.
what I mean? Like she's like
Yeah.
like a pound of JoJo's. She right when they put her on there, she bridged and almost rolled off of it. She rolled over her first day, her first 20 seconds being alive. She rolled over, and that usually doesn't happen
Instinct.
till like 2 months later, 3 months. I don't know what it is, but it's like it was incredible. She was born to be in the WWE.
Wow.
Your
We're
whole-
gonna make it
your
happen.
Whole family was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. I think we should, because we were at my wife's brother's house a couple years ago, 6 years ago, and Chad had been drinking, and he was, it was like a whole family there, and he's feeling good, and Celeste's dad's there, and Chad's like, "Come on, old man, let's go one more round in the living room," right? He wants to wrestle with his dad. He's feeling feisty. Celeste, now let me give you some background on Celeste's dad. Robert Harwood is the man's man, all right? Good looking, handsome, perfect height, strong as an ox. He grew up on a farm, cattle ranching, breaking down cows and bulls so the rest of his family could brand them.
Oh my
This
goodness.
dude is awesome.
That sounds like a wrestling character.
Yeah, he did wrestle.
Oh wow.
He did wrestle, and he so Robert, he's so calm and chill. He's like, all right. He's from Rocky Ford, Colorado, the prairie, and so he's like, all right, Chad, let's go, let's wrestle. Okay, I don't mind. Boom, and he like slams Chad on the floor and just pins him, and he goes.
Who's your daddy?
He goes, 1, 2, 3, and Robert stands up. I still got it. I still got it. And I was in tears laughing, dude. I was dying. Oh man, and Chad was like, I was just about to do my move. I was just that you didn't win. And Celeste is like, you lost, Chad.
Yeah.
And Angelina's like, oh, Uncle Chad, you should have done your move. It was so funny. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, you guys should have like a family wrestling act.
We should.
Yeah.
Have you ever-
all you guys?
Have you ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that movie, The Family, or that wrestles?
I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it came out kind of recently,
It's like
right?
a true story,
Yeah.
and it's
The
about the
Rock's in
chick.
it.
Yeah, with the chick. She becomes a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And she's like a real wrestler.
Yeah.
And it's her story. They're from England, and she goes through all these different phases trying to find her character and be
Yeah.
herself. And it's actually a great movie, man.
Wow.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Are you guys ready for a random question? Or do you guys want to keep going on this?
I think, I don't even know. Oh, wow.
It's been almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Holy moly.
Okay.
Gargonzoli.
So I went off of what we were first talking about at the beginning of our podcast. This
I
kind of has
have no
to do.
idea.
I know. What is the most annoying habit someone can have?
Oh. Okay. I'll tell you what. So
Jason's
like
really thinking
the
about it.
most annoying. So this is actually has more to do with me than with them. So like I have a pet peeve of like let's say there's 2 doors in a store, right? One that's labeled enter and one that's labeled exit. Someone entering through the exit is the most infuriating thing ever, and someone exiting through the entrance is also the most infuriating thing ever, right? Because it's always just like a mom of 12 kids and there's like a train going through there, and I'm like, the whole purpose for entrances and exits is so I don't have to sit here waiting for you guys to just like to go through. And it's just like, I hate it with all my passion. And I also hate the doors at Home Depot because it's like the one door on one side is to enter from all the way to one side of the store, and the other on the other side of the store is just the exit. So it's like if I want to leave, I have to travel the entire store unless I want
No,
to go
you
through the
don't.
entrance,
They
which
don't-
I'm not going to go through the entrance.
It
I'd
doesn't
rather
say
walk,
that.
right?
It doesn't say that.
It practically is. If you look how it's shaped, it's asking to be an entrance, and the second one is definitely an exit. It's
So-
definitely an exit.
So the one that you're perceiving to be an exit is for like people that do construction and that
Like
are,
a loading bay kind of.
yeah, and that's what it is. It's a loading bay area, but also they go in and out there, the contractors, because it goes right to lumber. That side of Home Depot is lumber and all that stuff, and on this side is like home stuff. This side is like the depot stuff,
Yeah.
and this side's like the home stuff.
Well,
Home
you're just
Depot.
giving me reasons to shop at Lowe's. Anyway.
Well, Lowe's
So-
was created more to be like more the home side, I think. And
Yeah.
it's more like, I don't know. From what I hear, it was like, I don't know if it's true. It was like a husband and wife. They split, and she opened up a Lowe's next to every Home Depot.
Supposedly, I heard something like that too. But anyway, yeah. So then, what annoying habits that people could have are people who just don't even care about it. Who just like they see the sign that says exit, and they're just like, I think I'm gonna walk through there. You know.
I think
What
that's
I
like
have a-
everyone.
What I have a problem with is Walmart.
Yeah.
Their entrance is messed up because
Oh,
like,
it's not on the right side.
it's not on the right
It's not on the right
side.
That's
side.
not helping. Yeah, Walmart's not
Yeah.
helping.
So you naturally walk through the exit door.
Yeah.
I won't.
He won't. He won't. I piss him off all the time. Every time I go through the exit, I'm like, it's on the right. We're in America, and I'm gonna drive on the right side of the road. This is not some third world
I
country.
don't even want to be seen with you. I'm just gonna like wait a couple minutes and then I'll go in the store and we'll meet up somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
no. I always
Like-
walk in through the wrong one at Walmart.
I
'cause
mean,
you're right.
yeah.
It's like
So
it's just natural.
because of this pet peeve, I'm not allowed at the Walmart in Wasilla anymore. All right, because we went there for a youth trip, right,
Yeah.
to AK like Wasilla, right, and then like we all went to the Walmart, and then he's not listening to this, but if he was, little Caleb, right, like Caleb Lebrecq. Right, him and Joe thought it was just be so funny to be like, "Hey, look!" and just jumping back and forth from the entrance and the exit, right? And I'm
very
just
angry right now.
yeah, right. And like people are trying to go through. I'm like, this is so inconsiderate. So I literally like run over there and I'm like wrestling him to like get him to stop doing that, right? And then like one of them spilled their drink, right? And then like I felt bad and I go to like help like one of the cleaning people like to let them know and. I ran into one of the employees, and like this woman was 120% sass, right? And she's like,
Yeah.
you know what? You're not allowed here anymore. And it's just like, okay, right? And
Yeah.
it's like they should do a reality show about the people at that Walmart because something's going on there. Anywho,
That Walmart.
that Walmart
Just
specifically.
that one. All
Yeah.
Walmarts. They
All
should do a
Walmarts.
reality TV show.
And anyway, yeah, she said I wasn't allowed back, so there's that.
I don't think
Have
she
you
has
tried
that
to go
power.
back?
She probably doesn't have that power, and she
She's-
probably doesn't
she's
even
like,
work
she just
there.
cleans up around there. Yeah.
I don't think she
You don't
does.
even need a high school diploma to
think
work
she-
there.
I think she's just a sassy lady who works there. I think that's
Yeah.
it. And it's like, from my experience, sassy people, they either work there for eternity or they get fired like in a week, right? That's just how it works, right?
Yeah.
You should go back up in there and like a walk all slow motion and carry a fan with you and just like, like be like, I'm back.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm
Make
back.
a scene. Make a scene
I'm
about
back.
it. And I ain't leaving.
I feel like she didn't remember me. She probably does that every
It'd
weekend.
be funny if you got a job there and worked your way to the top just to fire her.
Yes, there you
That's
go.
And
quite
then you
the
quit.
commitment.
What else do you
And
got
then
to
you
do?
quit as soon as you get the
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
what
And then
about
you die a glorious death.
Yes.
drowning?
yeah.
It'll be peaceable.
He said it was peaceful.
Unless there's sharks.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Jason?
What is the question?
Basically a pet peeve.
Oh, pet
Annoying
peeve?
habits that other people do. I feel like you have a lot of them.
I do. And like he said, it is me. I do perceive myself as better than others. And it's the sinful nature. It totally is, man. I don't like it when like the douchebag is in the room and I feel like I am the hand of justice. And
This is my duty.
yeah, and it's my job to take them down
A couple
several
notches.
notches. Not even
Like-
a couple. Like they have to restart their
Like,
whole
what
life.
I'm getting is like you and Celeste both do this, right? This is like your bonding activity, right? It's like finding the guy and just tearing him down on every possible
And
level.
I think what it is
Yes.
like her and I, we tear each other apart, and it's like we love it and we hate it and we love it, and it's like I guess it's called marriage, but like we're just like always like at each other's throats. Like she's always trying to correct me, and I'm always trying to correct her, and I'm like and whatever, we end up with another kid, but like yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But I know when I'm like at a place and I have to control my emotions, and there's some dude that's just like posting up like he's the boss, and he's just like, I run things around here. Like he's just kind of like he's literally showing that he's better than everybody. And I'm just like, dude, no, you're not, man. Stop it. And I want to challenge them at everything. And I'll just start challenging them at everything until they realize they're not good at anything.
They're not the best.
And I'm like, and I'm not even good at anything, and I'm beating you. Yeah.
You just want to break them down.
Yeah. Until we start playing video games, and then I'm just like done. I'm like, all right, you found my weakness.
Well,
I suck at
You're
video games.
pretty good at Street Fighter, though.
I'm okay. I feel like I love Street Fighter.
Uh-huh.
I think I really enjoy that game.
So, like, the thing is, like, obviously, if you play against, like, a professional player, he'll destroy everyone, right?
Yeah.
But it's, like, against 99% of the people, I think you're pretty good.
Oh, thanks, Eli.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who's a pro Street Fighter player.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's not even fair.
Yeah, he has his own controller, and it's set up. It's set up like the arcade controller. Yeah, he competes, and only at Street Fighter. And on his
Nice.
gi, he just got his brown belt, and on his gi, he's got
Oh.
Akuma symbol on the back of his gi.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Satsui no Hado?
Yeah, and he's just
Yeah.
like, dude, he's all about it. He's so good
Dude.
at it.
Is he an Akuma player?
I think so.
That's
I think
awesome.
so. I've never played him. He always tells me, if we play, I'm going to destroy you.
I mean, that's pretty obvious. Like, I have a good friend of mine who plays Guilty Gear, and I never really played Guilty Gear before, but the gap was completely obvious. Like, he didn't even, like, barely tried. Yeah.
So this is him in real life.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be a character in the game. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, chest day every day. And whatever, man. Keep doing push-ups. It's not going to help your jiu-jitsu against me. Yeah. I'm trying to find maybe the back of his gi here.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That actually looks pretty sick.
It does. It does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Maddie? Pet peeves?
I know I have like a lot of them, but I'm trying to like narrow it down to like my top
Well,
one.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go off of Jason's douchebag thing. I hate so I'm a slow driver. I drive the speed limit, and people don't like me because I'm slow. But I don't like it when people just like
Tailgate.
whip. Yeah, tail you, but then also just like whip on by you like they're cooler than you. So I just every time someone like passes me, I just wave them
Yeah,
on. I'm like,
yeah.
go ahead, you get on there.
Yeah.
You're gonna get somewhere way faster than me,
Yeah.
and congratulations to you for that.
Well,
Yeah.
like to
the
me,
dumber thing is like you guys meet at the same spot, like stoplight. You know?
Exactly.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, you didn't even get anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's always trucks. Nothing against trucks, but I also don't like trucks because truck drivers are all the same, where they all just like have to show off their
Truck.
truck vibes, you know?
Okay.
They're like, I'm a truck and I
I'm
go
a
faster
truck.
than you.
I like how
Yeah.
you personify the vehicle.
I do.
Do you know what I hate?
Slow drivers.
No. I don't mind slow drivers. coming to a 4-way stop and and the people don't know who goes first, like who has right of way.
Oh.
And in Alaska, you're supposed to give the signal at the 4-way stop to who goes. And it's
Just Alaska?
Or yeah, it's just Alaska. And it's like or it's like who comes to the stop sign first.
If you get there
Yeah.
at the same time, you like.
If you get there at the same time, it's supposed to be the person to your right, and you have to give them the signal. But I hate when I get there and somebody's already there, or I get there, and this person, I know it's obviously their turn, and they know to go, or hopefully, I'm assuming they know, which I should never assume. And I get there, and then they tell me to go, and then I'm so like punk rocked, and I'm like, nobody tells me what to do, and I'm just like, no, you go, and they're like, no, you go.
Yeah.
And my son starts laughing because he knows I'm gonna start boiling over with anger, and I'm like bending the steering wheel, and I'm just like, no, you go.
And then you start both going at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah, and it's just like, yeah,
I've done that
Yeah.
before. I always wave the other person on, though. I'm like, I'm not going until you go.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. But that's really
Yeah.
funny. Are you like do you have road rage?
only in that moment.
Or is it just 4-stop rage?
It's 4-stop rage. It's like when I turn the corner, I have to give a speech. They know the law. They took the test. Didn't they read it? They got a license unless they don't have a license. And my kids have to hear the same speech every day from the same 4-way stop.
So, do you feel the same way about like the Soldotna roundabouts? Because like I've never had a problem with roundabouts until I came to this city and they made those roundabouts here.
Yeah, we didn't need those roundabouts.
No,
That was
they're tiny, miserable little roundabouts that I almost died at 3 times,
Yeah.
and like almost lost my salvation at one point. Like this woman, like completely insufferable, dude. Like it was ridiculous. Like I was going up to the one of the roundabouts, like the one that's you know, like where the ammo can is. Yeah,
Yep.
that one
Yep.
that's near that.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I was going up, right, and then
Cadbury feed one.
yeah, I was going like at a pretty steady pace, right? And then I was slowing down, and then there was another car that was coming, and then she comes to a complete stop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? It's your
Yeah.
turn to go. So I have to go to a complete stop. She slowly drives by. She looks at me, and she shakes her head like she's trying to shame me. And I'm like, what did I do? Right? I'm just trying to go home.
Yeah.
And then it's just like she's like a douchebag lady. And
Yeah.
she's just like an old
She's
haggy
still a
lady.
douchebag. She's
Right?
still a douchebag.
And it's just like,
Douchebag isn't for men only. In
Okay.
fact, it's for women.
It's a very versatile term.
Yeah.
okay,
So
can dogs be douchebags?
yes,
Okay.
definitely. So
The term is for women?
yeah, well, it's water and vinegar to clean out their lady parts. It's a douchebag.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I never understood.
Anyway, going back to my infuriation
go like
at this lady.
Silent.
Yeah, I was raised by women. I know way too much about
That stuff.
feminine products.
Got it. I was like, I don't know what you mean, but it's meant for women. But
All
now
right.
I get it.
Nevertheless,
Uh-huh. She was the
the
worst.
roundabouts, I don't get upset because nobody has to stop. And it's almost like who takes charge first, and I like that.
You
I
like
mean,
a challenge.
Yeah, I like a challenge. And these roundabouts, you can drive right over the circle.
Okay, that's how I almost died. All right. I was just
I'm
like,
trying to jump it every time.
dude,
No.
I was just trying to get some McDonald's. This old lady didn't even see it. She just goes, boom, and she like got like 3 feet of air.
Yes!
I kid you not. And I'm like, I could have been dead like right now if I didn't just stop.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
That was at the Safeway one?
Yes.
Man.
That's like the most dangerous one.
Yeah. It was like,
It's crazy. Like, why?
it was like Edith Knievel. She's like, I'm taking it. This one's for you, evil. Ba-da-da. The TriStar Pictures song comes out. Dun, dun, dun,
I'm just
dun,
imagining
dun,
like the
dun.
police talking to my family and like, so this old lady got 3 feet of air and murdered your brother, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like stupid roundabouts,
Yeah.
right?
She's like, I knew this day would come.
No surprise.
No surprise. If there was anybody who's going to kill him, it was going to be a 90-year-old woman that can't see over the steering wheel and takes huge jumps. right?
Yep. Anyway,
Where are we at?
Anyone else have other pet peeves?
Oh, pet peeves.
I feel like Jason, you probably
Oh.
have like a long list of them.
I do. You know, it's funny. I took so much anger management classes as a teenager. I've learned to manage everything.
Well, that's good.
Like I'll just like breathe and be like, it's not worth it.
yeah,
Yeah, my anger is a secondary emotion.
yeah.
My pride and ego is just hurt.
Uh-huh.
Move on, Jason.
Well, I got a pet peeve.
I bet you do.
People who either like poke my shoulder or flick my ear. All right.
Huh?
And the reason for that is like I'd be in high school, and then these kids like who just like like these douchebag kids who think they own everything. They'll just literally start touching everyone, and it's like, why are you touching me? And they'd pick my shoulders or flick my
That's
ear.
called negative attention-seeking behavior.
Well, I punched one in the face and got suspended in the 6th grade.
Heck yeah.
Chase Kimball, right?
Yeah, it sounds
And-
like a kid that you need to punch in the face.
It does.
Yeah. And anywho, it's annoying, and like obviously I'm not punching anyone in the face today, but and no one actually does
So-
that because
so
people
sad.
understand like boundaries. They're like, you just don't touch people you don't know.
No, the kids I
And-
work with are the kids that touch people.
Okay.
Oh yeah, every day. Every day they're like crossing boundaries. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They don't understand personal space, right? And they're just like doing it. They can't even help themselves, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, even this last week, one of the students I work with, he's been doing so great. He's got a 3.8. His grades are up.
Nice.
Behavior's doing great. He's ahead of his work by next week.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome behavior. And then somewhere in class, I'm helping another student, and he walks up and he reaches over and he touches the kid's book, and I'm like, stop it. And it's like I'm not even watching. It's like his hand is
You
coming.
sense it.
His hand is coming into view, like there's a camera. It's just like his hand comes into view, and he's like, and I'm like, dude, go find something to do, or I'm gonna give you something to do.
Oh.
And he's like, and he reaches out and he pokes the kid, and I'm like, come on, man. He goes, he likes it.
He
And I'm
like-
like, he doesn't like it, you like it, you
think
weirdo.
It's like he backslid into poking
Yeah,
people. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And I'm like, go do so. He's like, I got nothing to do.
But to poke.
Yeah. Or they get in
That-
people's faces. They're like,
That just sounds like a comedy, honestly. That's what you're describing to me.
oh, man.
It's like-
That's my job every day. And it is a comedy. I laugh every day a lot. I love my job. I wish it paid a lot more, maybe 4 times more what I'm getting paid.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's switch it. What's something that you guys do that's annoying to other people?
Oh, man. Probably breathing. I know.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. man.
I annoy a
Well,
lot of people.
Like sometimes people say I don't talk a lot, and then when we start talking about comics, they want me to stop talking. So then that's usually I think what it is.
Eli, do people ever like complain that you talk during movies?
Only like I don't talk in movie theater movies. I have too much respect for that.
Okay.
I'm
For
learned.
the sanctuary. For the temple of the theater. Yeah.
Right, but honestly, only with Jason because he doesn't mind it. I remember
No, I don't mind.
I did with like my sister and my old brother-in-law and like their family, and then like would watch it, and then I'd just be like, "What's this guy doing?" Right? And then he would just look at me like we're trying to watch the movie.
Yeah. No, I love everything he says through the movies because I'm laughing. I talk through movies also.
Yeah.
I talk through movies in the theater. I'm a blasphemer of the temple of the theater. Yeah, I go in there and I make fun of everybody in the movie. That's what I get joy from, is making fun of people because I'm insecure and hate myself. But no, things that I do that bother people,
Yeah.
I think it's bullying them. My wife tells me that all the time. Stop talking like that, Jason. Why are you looking at that person like that, Jason? Why are you walking towards that person like that? Yeah. She saves so many people all the time. My wife is amazing. One time we were out here. Were you out here when there was like these caribou out here and they had like rope in their antlers?
I don't remember that one.
It was like I don't know what it was. It was like a bunch of it was like Christmas lights or something all in their antlers that they walked through somebody's yard and had a bunch of stuff in their antlers.
All right.
And Celeste was like, "Oh my gosh, I wonder if that's gonna bother him." I was like, "He's eating grass. He doesn't care." And like his truck pulls up, and Celeste is like walking out there towards these caribou, like she's gonna do something, and then this dude walks up and like stands next to my wife, right? And I just have a little bit of issues with that, right? And I'm like, "Hey, why don't you grab that caribou?" As I'm walking, and Celeste is like, "Shut up, Jason," because she sees my posture changes, and I'm getting ready to feed him to the caribou.
Feed him to the caribou.
I'm like, "Why don't you go over there and take that rope off that caribou's antlers, huh? You want to save the caribou?" Because he's out there like giving facts about caribou to my wife,
What?
like she even cares.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm just like moving very rapidly.
So like I'm just imagining this like as an innocent old dad with like a dad mustache. He's like, "So you know the caribou live up to
No,
37
dude, he was
years."
a young dude.
Oh, okay.
He was a young dude. He was like, I was just saving it. It took me a while to get there because I was just at knee surgery the month before. But
Like a lot of these
do you
stories.
remember the brace I had on? For
Maybe, but like a lot of these stories involve a few like injured. Like you told me another one, you're like a baseball thing or a soccer thing, and then you're just like gonna pick a fight with this guy, and you're like limping. You're like, "Hey, you!" And you like limp over there, and you like ankle pick him or something.
It was frisbee.
Okay.
It was ultimate frisbee.
All right.
And it also involved my wife, but she wasn't my wife at the time. She
Okay.
was my girlfriend. And he was getting a little too close to her also.
All right. Well, keep
Yeah,
going.
and I told him to stay there and wait for me because I had a sprained ankle.
You don't move. I'm coming. Slowly but surely. I'm coming for you.
And pretty much I said, "Stay there." Almost there.
Please don't move.
40 more yards. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And everybody's just like watching.
Eating some popcorn.
Yeah. Like the moment's passed, I guess. Yeah, I did. I ankle picked him.
I think for me, well, Chris gets annoyed at this, but I eat half sticks of gum. So I put the other half back into like the gum thing. And for some
I've
reason,
never thought of doing
it really annoys him. And I'm like, I'm literally doubling the gum that we have.
You know what I do that with?
What?
Nutty butters. I split them like they're they're wafers.
Wow.
And I peel the top one off. And I
What? And you leave the other
You
half?
leave the
just
other
like,
No, I eat the other half.
oh, okay.
Oh, I
right,
thought
thank
you
you.
just left it back in the package.
Yeah. I'm like,
No,
why
it
would
just
you-
I just split it in
I was
half.
like, that's a pet peeve of mine for sure. Don't ever do that.
It just well, you said it doubles it, and I
Well,
feel like
yeah.
it doubles it, and there's two in a pack, so it quadruples it.
there you
Yeah,
go.
and it makes it go farther.
But in reality, though, the biggest one for me is the fact that I don't pick up my dog's poop when he poops. And I feel like people hate that. Honestly, I bury it or I take a stick and I try to like shove it away so people can't see it.
Wow.
Or I just bury it with sand or
I never pick
whatever.
up dog poop.
You never do either?
I ain't picking up anybody's poop unless it's in the house.
Well, no, when we walk him, like we'll be walking in public places and if he poops, we just run away.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. No, I stand there and look at the people. I'm like, drop my drawers and poop right there in their lawn too. Just like, it's a dog. He poops.
I know.
So what?
I remember.
I'm not gonna pick this dog poop up.
My
But a lot of people hate that.
People hate
Yeah,
it.
my friend used to have a dog who he ended up giving to me, right? And every time I would walk this dog, there was like a lawn that had a sign that says "No dog poop on the lawn," and the dog would always poop on that lawn. And I would do everything to make her stop. I'd be dragging her, and she'd be like leaving a trail of poop as she like waddling as I'm pulling her leash. And I think it's something about that lawn that makes dogs want to poop because it was like that's
Probably
the
good grass.
pristine, that's
Yeah.
the pristine lawn.
You know
It's
how
like
you
the
know-
golden throne, right?
Yeah,
Of like dog
there
lawns.
it is.
Right?
If you put your fingers together like this, and you stand in front of a dog while it's getting ready to poop, and you pull your fingers, you go, it makes them stop pooping.
No,
What?
it doesn't.
Yes,
W-
it does. Try it.
no.
I have to try it.
Try it.
That
Don't
is
disagree.
so weird.
Do the research. And
How
I
did
don't-
you come to that conclusion?
it was every Latin person in Miami knows this.
This is odd.
It's very odd. There's so many odd Hispanic things.
Well, yeah, there is, but I don't think any of them are odd because I do them, but I don't do that one. So
You
that
don't know
one's
about
odd.
that? Yeah. I think that was like it's like Trailer Park, Miami.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
was the purpose of that one?
Just to make dogs stop pooping.
But why?
You have the power.
I don't know why. We were kids and we would run in front of the
Oh.
dogs and do this like this. A Colombian friend of mine, Roy, told me that, and then it was confirmed in other neighborhoods. So I was like,
The
It's
research
true. It
is
had been
real.
yeah. And when we would do it, people would be walking their dogs, and we would run out in front of their dogs and go like that, and the dog would like walk, pinch it, and walk away and stop pooping, and we laugh.
And they're like,
Yeah.
now my dog's
And the peop-
constipated.
Yeah, and the people were like, "Get away from me, you weird kid!" We were like shoeless kids with like cut jean shorts. You know what I'm talking about? No
Yes.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're like. My wife said. She said you and your friends were like pirate children.
Pirate
That's
children.
what she called us. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I liked it. Yeah.
You
I
have
guess we were.
bandanas around your head?
Some of us did.
Yeah.
I had a baseball cap.
Nice.
Yeah. I stuck with the baseball cap.
There you go.
It kept the sun out of my eyes. The rest of them looked like migrant workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of La Bamba when they're like sorting through the fruit and stuff. All right.
Okay, well, I think that's about it, right?
I hope so.
No more pet
You're
peeves.
like, please be yeah, no, we're good.
I'm
All
starting to
right.
get racist here at the end.
It's just going.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for listening, and
Yeah.
we'll see you in the next one, guys.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. Later.